There it is. Okay, because I'll ask you to introduce yours when it's time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you are live on YouTube at the same time now.
All right. Okay. Well, does anybody have any good jokes? Sherrie Lee is here, Kirk's here, and Todd's here. There was the three presenters tonight. Okay, about 2 more minutes. I think Gene will start.
Oh, we've started your recording and you're live on YouTube. So you
Right.
can go right ahead.
Okay, well, I was going to say, can that be edited at all?
Sure.
Okay,
The YouTube one can't. It'll just go.
let's go on. All right, well, welcome to the December Travelogue. Hope you all have a good week coming up before Christmas. You go back to where Kirk Hively is, and he's going to be the first presenter. And he's back in Indiana where blizzard is coming, he said Friday. So Kirk, could you tell us a little bit about your first video, which is going to be about Key West cruise?
So we've always kind of wanted to get to Key West. We took my mom down there several years ago, and the actual town of Key West was so busy that we decided not to do anything. And then a couple of years later in 2020, right at the start of COVID, my wife and I had scheduled a 5-day cruise going from Miami to Key West and on over to Nassau. So just a short, quick little getaway. And it turned out to be pretty nice. They cruise overnight. You get about 4 or 5 hours in port and then cruise, and then a couple of nights over to Nassau, get a few hours in town, and then the same thing, cruise back. So most of the cruising's at night. The port visits are pretty short, but it was a fun little cruise. We did not have any issues with COVID when we got on. We didn't get detained and stuck on board like they were starting to do with some of the cruises. So we were pretty glad that all health-wise that all worked out. But it was a nice little fun cruise. So a short way, easy way to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so you ready for us to show it?
I'm ready.
Okay, if everybody could turn off their video and audio so we don't hear any side noises. And Gene, remind me if I need to do something right or wrong. Do something wrong. All right, here's the Key West cruise from Kirk. Let me be sure I clicked on the. Yeah, I did. Okay, we're back. So if anybody has a question for Kirk, comment, turn your video on and your audio on, of course. So Kirk, it was very windy, right?
Yeah, it was nice in Key West, but the morning we arrived at Nassau, the winds were so strong. I think 5 ships were supposed to come in and they just had so much trouble. We waited outside the port for 3 hours before they finally decided to let us go in, which again shortens your day there. You know, instead of maybe 6 hours, we only got 3 hours in port.
Yeah.
Nassau was fun to explore, walking around. I'd love to go back and spend a little more time there because we didn't get to do any time on the beach, do any of the fun water stuff.
But what is the population of Nassau?
That I don't know. Not very big. They're still recovering from a hurricane they'd been through years ago. Tourism was starting to build back up again, but it's again one of the issues with the island living. It's just pretty
Right.
devastating when those hurricanes come through.
Oh, yeah. Would it be a size of Green Valley or bigger or smaller?
I think probably about the size of our population for the whole
Really?
island.
About 20,000.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 other islands nearby too. They're part of it.
Oh, really? Well, they say the Bahamas, so I didn't know how many islands that meant. So, okay, so why don't you, now Kirk is going to show us another one, kind of a different travelogue now over the sea. So Kirk, you want to tell us about your Tuscany adventure first?
This was for back in 2012. My wife and I did our 10-year wedding anniversary and went to Italy. First week was spent in Rome with no car, just using the buses. And then we picked up a rental car, drove up to Tuscany, got up to the main interstate off on a little kind of state highway, then down to another little road, then down to another little road, then down to a last mile to this little farmhouse that we stayed at, what used to be a barn. So we're in the middle of the Tuscany area and used that barn as our place to explore the surrounding towns.
All right.
About a week out there.
Sounds like a beautiful place to be. All right, let's get let's turn it on and see how it works.
Don't forget the 2 buttons.
Thank you. Here we go.
So Paul, I've been posting my pictures in, or editing my pictures in Adobe's Lightroom, and they have an option to do slideshows and add the music in there. You can select the slideshow time and the amount of motion in that. So
Yeah, that was the question I was asking. It's very well done. Was a lot of that taken on your phone?
no, this is back in 2012, so I did not have a good, that was all my Canon 40D. So it was almost all digital phone, but I probably had a little digital camera too. I don't remember if any of these were from that.
Well, they were beautiful.
Good,
So
nice job, Kirk.
One of the other things that we found interesting before I went, I tried to find a guidebook for Chianti region to say, what are the must-see wineries? I could not find one in the libraries or anything. And then that one map, as you were traveling on the road, you could find a little map of here's all the local wineries in the area. But it was in Italian, so then we'd have to take it home. I took a picture, took it back and tried to translate it to find out where do we want to go. A lot of it was just kind of luck finding places as we drove by.
Yeah. So would you go back?
Oh, we'd love to go back again. Yeah.
Beautiful. It looks like a beautiful place. Which part of this country does it remind you of? Can you compare it to anything in the United States at all?
No, not there. You've got all those rolling hills, but then you've got the castles on top of the hill, or the cities on top of the hill that are so ancient. So that part of it about makes Chianti region very unique.
Yeah.
Also, my wife was very unhappy. We spent most of the time in the Chianti region, and it's a less expensive wine. And we got down to Montalcino and the more expensive wines, and she was saying, "Well, these are much better wines. We should have started here."
Yeah. Does anybody else have any comments? If you do, turn your video on and your audio on, and you can ask a question or make a comment. Well, Kirk, it makes me want to go there. I'll take my wife there for maybe our anniversary.
Hopefully, if they've got I think their barn at Beaujolais is still available for rent. So that was an ideal place to go, kind of in the center.
Was it that expensive or no?
Actually, no. So prices are probably going up, but I think we paid $900 for the week.
Oh, good. That's good. That's really good. Okay, well, all right, so let's go to anything else, Kirk, you want to add?
No, I think that's good for that. Thanks.
Thanks for those. Those were very nice. Sherrie Lee, can you come on board?
Okay, I am on board.
We are.
See, am I
And-
showing up yet? Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Yeah.
I
You're doing fine.
unmuted and I clicked for the video, but I don't know why the video is not showing up.
I haven't turned on yet.
Oh, okay. So I'm Sherrie Lee Lucia. Can you say that, Paul?
Yeah, Lucia. Okay.
Yeah. We were having a very fun little email conversation on how to say my last name. So my husband says Lucia, but I think that's way too boring. And I like Sherrie Lee Lucia. So, you know, and it's Italian. So anyway, that's,
Yeah.
I do Lucia.
Just a second. Just a second.
Okay.
Miss Reedy, could you turn your video off, please? I think your audio's off, but your video's still on. I don't know. Maybe she can't hear me. Anyway, videos have to be off. There you go. Thank you so much.
I stopped her video.
Oh, okay. So Sherrie, tell us a little bit about your cruise. I know it's 2 parts.
Yes.
We're going to do the first part.
Yeah, it's actually 3 parts.
Okay.
But Cappadocia was the first part, so that'll be shown at a later date. We went on a Viking ocean cruise to the ancient Adriatic. So we started out, we flew into Istanbul, and then we did their pre-trip out to Cappadocia, and that is in the middle of Turkey, and that's a different video. This video starts when we got back to Istanbul, and then we were going on the ship. So I introduced you to the ship that we were on, which was absolutely lovely, and then going down along Turkey and into Greece. And so we kind of hit the first week, and then the next episode will show next month, which will have the second half of it, which is going along Corfu and Montenegro and all the way up to Venice. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. It was an amazing trip. And
all right. And what I'm showing, I hope this is right. If it isn't, it's too bad, because I have part 1.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. So that's the first trip when we're actually on the ship.
All right, let's see what we can do.
Don't forget your 2 boxes.
And our cruise begins. Turkey, Greece, Montenegro, Croatia, and Italy. On our way to the ship. Look familiar? Could be LA. Fun facts about the Viking sky. 9 decks, 930 guest capacity, self-serve laundromats available, .465 crew members. All guest cabins have balconies and heated floors in the bathrooms. The ladies' public restroom had bird chirping music. I got pretty excited about jellyfish at one of the docks. Our cruise director also performed. She has an amazing voice. We had so many amazing experiences. In Istanbul, we got to meet up with a special friend of mine who had studied in Iowa, along with her sister, who prepared some very tasty morsels for us.
First of all, is the Turkey. It's almost 88 million people lived here. Is that you can see the Turkey map, and almost 20% of the population lived Islam. To us, why? Around 8 years ago, there was one metro digging. They found some evidence to Istanbul back to almost 6,000 years old.
The Turkish bath was an adventure, to say the least, and it felt fabulous getting smothered in bubbles. We saw a smaller version of the Blue Mosque called Yemi Kami. The detail is incredible. And the spice market? The flavors, the smells, the energy, a must-do.
Okay, all these are Turkish delights. These Turkish delights made by fruit juice, okay, and rich nuts. No gelatin, no gluten, no glucose. It's important.
How are you today?
I am very good today. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm looking for you and I'm perfect. Just a minute.
Wonderful.
Yes, please. Hi, America. How are you today?
Then there's the food. Included in the cruise for the evening meal is the restaurant, Manfredi's, and the chef's table. Both Manfredi's and the chef's table required reservations. All three options have a dress code. The chef's table offered a set 5-course menu with wine pairing, a nice array of flavors, all beautifully presented. A new menu came out every 3 days. Both the restaurant and Manfredi's had delicious menu options, always starting with a nice basket of breads. And be sure to save room for those desserts. They are as tasty as they look. The restaurant offered full-service breakfast, but the hours typically conflicted with excursions. Full-service lunch was not available while in port, which was pretty much every day. The World Cafe Buffet was available for all meals as well as room service. Cheers to great food shared with delightful new friends. Our cruise included stops at 4 famous ruins, 2 in Turkey and 2 in Greece. Ancient Troy, from the early Bronze Age of about 3000 BC to the Byzantine era of about 500 AD, was the powerhouse of Asia Minor. Famous names? Alexander the Great, Emperor Augustus, and how about the amazing Trojan horse famous from the Iliad? Ancient Ephesus from 6000 BC, abandoned in the late 1400s. The Temple of Artemis, the facade of the Library of Celsus, and the Great Theater holding 25,000 spectators makes this one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Famous names: Alexander the Great, Emperor Augustus, Mark Antony and Cleopatra, Constantine the Great. Also important in Christianity, as it is believed the Gospel of John was written here. Paul's epistles included Ephesus and is one of the 7 churches referred to in the book of Revelations. Furthermore, there were several 5th century Christian councils held in Ephesus. The Acropolis, home to the Parthenon, temples to Athena and Zeus, is the pinnacle of ancient Greece in Athens, and is referred to as the birthplace of democracy. Famous names: Plato, Aristotle, Hippocrates, and the Ottoman Empire. Ancient Olympia, the birthplace of the Olympics. In 776 BC, the Olympic Park was established to compete for the favor of the gods. Interesting fact, all competitors were male, they were all naked, and their bodies were rubbed down with olive oil. No women were allowed, even as spectators. History does tell of a select few exceptions. The stadium had a capacity of 45,000 spectators. The last Olympiad was held 393 AD. Current-day Olympics continue to light the torch here and transport the lit torch to wherever the current Olympics are being held. Zeus in perspective. Look at the man in red. This was just cool.
Okay, Sherrie, very nice, very nice. Looks like you had a beautiful cruise, beautiful trip.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And that's just the first half.
Oh, yeah. So here, I want to ask you a question. Do you think the people back then knew 776 BC?
I doubt it.
How could they know?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, just kidding.
You did a very nice job of that presentation. My husband and I have taken that trip, and you did an outstanding review of it. I have one question. Do you remember the name of the food that it was a round ball in Istanbul? A little round ball was a food, and we had it too, and we were trying to remember what the name of it was.
I do not remember the name of it, but it was sure good.
It was. And my husband and I just thought, oh, I wonder if she remembers, because we didn't remember either.
Yes, I'm sorry I'm not able to help you with that. It was certainly tasty.
Yeah. Well, that trip was just amazing.
Yeah, we definitely want to go back to Istanbul. We had thought we were going to have several days there, and our flight was delayed, so we barely made it in time to catch our next flight to go to our pre-trip in Cappadocia. So even though we had planned to be there a couple days early, it didn't work out that way. And then when we came back from Cappadocia to start the cruise, we thought there was going to be still more time allowed in Istanbul, and there wasn't. So that's on our list, to be able to go back and spend some more time in Istanbul. And maybe then I'll make a point to remember what that little ball was called.
Well, thank you so much. You did an outstanding job.
Thank you so much.
All right. So Sherrie, what was your very favorite place to be on the whole cruise?
Oh,
Istanbul?
that's such a hard question.
That's not
I would-
fair.
Yeah, there were 3 ports that we went to in Turkey that we would love to go back to.
All right.
We also, I mean, we definitely enjoyed Greece. We'd like to see other places in Greece, not necessarily the ones that we already went to. We've been, the other parts of it we've been to before. So I would say the 3 different spots in Turkey, we would definitely like to get back to.
Okay, cool. Anything else you'd like to add?
I'm looking forward to sharing the second half of the trip with you guys next month.
It'll be there. Okay.
All right, awesome.
Gary, I particularly liked the narration. It was excellent.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jean.
Yes, it was. Okay, so the next person and the last person for the night will be Todd Taylor. And Todd, you want to come on and tell us about what you're going to be showing?
Sure. This is a trip I took to the British Virgin Islands in December of last year. I have been sailing in the British Virgin Islands since the 1980s, been there many, many times, know what I consider the best beach bars, restaurants, and anchorages in the chain. Things have changed down there. I was supposed to go in 2017, but Irma came through, and the British Virgin Islands took a direct hit, especially the main island of Tortola got hit pretty hard, and Virgin Gorda to the east of Tortola got hit pretty hard. In fact, some of the places that I had frequented for many, many years were just literally gone. They were just completely blown away. So it's lost a little bit of that charm and everything. Some of the places have been replaced with very new hurricane-proof type buildings, which in one sense I understand. They want the buildings to last everything, but it just looks like a new building in America. So it doesn't quite have the charm. Joost Van Dyke, one of my favorite islands there, was spared most of the hits. So a lot of the beach bars and restaurants and anchorages are still there and in good shape. So this was, we were on a 40-foot catamaran. I'm the captain. Like I said, I've been sailing many years. Some friends of mine here from Tucson, Everett and Gina, who've never been sailing in their lives, were the other couple joining Sally and I. So with that, Paul, you can run the video.
All right, well, thank you. And I've seen it, and it's got some great photography in it.
Thank you.
So be ready.
I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. I've got my suitcases packed. Yes, I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation and I'm never, never, ever coming back. I've been wondering for so long why I'm working for somebody else, saving up all my vacation just to have a little time to myself when I could be in the islands where even the work is play. I could be styling and living vacation every day. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. I've got my suitcases packed. Yes, I'm going on vacation. I'm never, never, ever coming back. Vacations are too short, a weekend sometimes too. Just when you start relaxing, vacation is already through and you're back home and working. A 40-hour weekend then, one thing's for certain, you can't wait for vacation again. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. I've got my suitcases packed. Yes, I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation and I'm never, never, ever coming back. So many places to see, so much I want to do, so little time to make it all come true. I put it off too long, the islands are where I belong. It's time to prove I'm making my move, I'll see you there so long. Pack it up, 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 pack it up. No, I'm never, ever, never coming back. Pack it up. No, I'm never, ever, ever coming back. Pack it. No, pack it up now. Pack it all up. Pack it up. Pack it up now. Pack it all up. Never coming back. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. I've got my suitcases packed. Never, never, ever coming back. Yes, I'm never coming back. I'm going on vacation. Smooth seas and blue skies, palm trees and sunshine await me in new latitudes. Pirates and treasure, or dealer adventure, the only difference is attitude. So I'll raise my glass, then raise the sails, and toast the world from the bow. Say farewell to my landlocked life, throwing in the towel. Wherever my journey takes me, I'll take time to unwind. 'Cause paradise is not a place, it's a state of mind, and my mind is made up. I'm gonna sail away. Latitudes and attitudes will help me find my way with my loving cup. A little salt and a lick of lime. I'll set my course for adventure, of course on island time. Cruising chicks and sailor dudes all are taking part. Latitudes and attitudes have crept inside their hearts. Sailing yachts, motor tugs, and trawlers of all kinds are out to see what they can see on oceans far and wide, and my mind is made up. I'm gonna sail away. Latitudes and attitudes will help me find my way with my loving cup. my course for adventure, of course on island time. The ocean is my highway, upon the seas I ride. I'm trading in my Harley for a boat and changing tides, and my mind is made up. I'm gonna sail away. Latitudes and attitudes will help me find my way with my loving cup. A little salt and a lick of lime. I'll set my course for adventure, of course on island time. Set my course for adventure, of course on island time.
Island time, island time. Not a form of measurement, it's a state of mind. I go down to the Isle of Tortola, the service said can't get no slower. The people there say, man, hold your bladder. Here in the islands, time does not matter. I said, okay, could I have some corn fritters? Not to worry, man, just don't get the jitters. An hour later, I was still there sitting. Island time, I was not smitten. Island time, island time. State of mind. Back on the Conky Joe, we hoist the sails, put up our feet and soak down some ales. I used to be a tidy real go-getter, but now island time is looking better. So we put on the mask and we go snorkel. And I don't wanna sound like no yokel, but I saw more beauty than I'd ever seen. Now island time is looking mighty keen. Island time, island time, island time, island time. All day, but a shower of pina colada and some dinner. Island time is looking like a winner. I played my guitar down at Quito's gazebo, played Jimmy Buffett, 'cause he is my hero. Tourists and natives, they both applaud me. Oh, island time is rubbing right off on me. Island time. Kinda slow. It's not for those who want to go, go, go. It's for those who want to lay and play on the sunny beach all day. Next day we sailed across to Joost van Dyke, a laid-back island I really like. BVI mosquitoes have bitten me good. Now island time is running in my blood. Island time, island time, island time, island time. Not a form of measurement, it's a state of mind.
Okay, great job, Todd.
Thank you.
Very nice. What program did you use to put that together?
I'm using DaVinci.
DaVinci.
Yes.
Well, is that a PC or is that a Mac?
It's on my PC. Yes.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
DaVinci is actually a free program, which is why I'm using it. You can buy it also, but at least at this time and point for my abilities, it does just fine. And apparently it's one of the major software companies that the studios use to do their movies.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Well, that'd be worth, I think free is a pretty good price.
Yep, I like free.
Does anybody else have a comment for Todd, please?
I love the music that you chose to go with that. The music was like so perfect.
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
Was that
Todd, how
Jimmy?
much-
The
Was that
marine life too.
Was the first song Jimmy Buffett or somebody very much like him?
No, his name's Gene Mitchell.
Really?
So there's a whole genre called tropic rock. I am a big Jimmy Buffett fan and have gone to many of his concerts. And every year, the first weekend in November, they have an event called Meeting of the Minds. It's in Key West. It has been in Key West up to this point, but apparently they're considering moving it somewhere else. But basically, the parent heads take over the town. They shut down Duval Street and Highway 1 and set up a big stage there. And for almost 4 days, literally from sunup till sundown, there is music playing.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you don't have a good time at a Jimmy Buffett concert, you're probably not living.
That is true.
It's really,
That is
Wow.
true.
Well, I just got a really bad case of sailboat envy after I watched that. It beats the heck
Yeah.
out of my Compact 21, believe me.
Well, the catamarans are really nice. Back in the States, I had a 31-foot Hunter 301 that I kept up in Erie, Pennsylvania, and sailed on the Great Lakes, which was fine and everything. But there's nothing like sailing down in the Caribbean.
oh,
and,
yeah.
And especially to me, if you're taking people who have not done sailing before, a catamaran's really nice because it doesn't heel over. I mean, I've sailed all through the Caribbean. I've sailed from St. Thomas all the way down to South America. And when you're heeled over for 5 or 6 days, at a time, it gets old. It's not a lot of fun at that point and everything, but I still love sailing and being on the water. But the catamarans are the best. And I mean, you can get all different. They pretty much start at 36 feet and go to over 50 feet. The 50-footers have 5 cabins in them. Each one has their own head and everything. So it really works out well.
Todd, how much time was it under sail versus power?
I don't power at all.
Okay, that's great.
Nope. Don't
That
do
was
power. I mean,
wonderful.
I would run the motors each day when I would get up just to recharge the refrigerator and the batteries and things like that. But other than that, I mean, there was a little bit of motoring to get out of a couple of the anchorages because it was just a narrow passage to get out. But after that, it's hoist the sail. And I love being under sail and the quietness of it and just the ripple of the waves against the hull. And to me, that's special.
All pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Todd, what did you use for your underwater videos?
GoPro.
GoPro.
Yep. I have an old GoPro. I'm looking at a new one because mine is old. It's a Hero 4 and doesn't have stabilization like they do before. I had to do a lot of work on those underwater videos And thanks to the help of the multimedia SIG that helped me do that, because I had to literally slow it down almost half its normal speed just to get it from jumping around and being too bouncy. So it was pretty good. Paul, you're on mute. Paul, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I want to know if Jim Roberts had a question. He's on mute too. You're on mute, Jim. Anyway, Todd, does your catamaran go about 10 to 12 knots, or is it faster?
No, we weren't going that fast. Most of the time we were just 8 to 10 knots.
It feels like you're going faster, I know, in a sailboat.
Yes, it does.
It's a nice feeling.
It does. There aren't a lot of boats like that. You're not really going to get much over. I mean, so this is cruising sailing. This isn't racing, and I do race. And so when you're racing, that's a whole different world that you're living in, because there's about 20 different things that you're looking at. Trimming the sheets, trimming the sails, just so many different aspects of it, and you're just literally trying to notch out just a little inkling more of wind than the people you're competing against.
Right.
So this is just, because these were friends and inexperienced sailors, just put up the sails and sail from point A to point B and try not to make anyone have to do too much work on it. But it's a lot of fun. And the other nice thing about the British Virgin Islands, it's almost a constant, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. So, nothing too great that you're going to get overpowered with and have to, trim the sheets or reduce the amount of sail or bring in a jib or something like that.
Right. But before I ever sailed, I used to think that the wind pushed you, had to be behind you. It's not the case. I mean, you're sailing basically into it.
Well, you have to sail at 30-degree angle to the wind. You can't sail directly into it. But when you're running with the wind, which is what you're referring to, when it's coming from the stern and everything, it is actually the fastest point of sail. But in that case, then I would go wing on wing and put my mainsail out on one side and my jib out on the other, trying to create as much, sail as I can.
Right.
And the interesting thing about that is, because you're running with the wind, you actually don't even really feel like you're moving fast, but it is the fastest point of sail.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's a very nice job, Todd. And
thank you.
If you have, you told me, I think you have another one, so please get it to me.
I'm working on that from my. I spent 5 days in Israel and 10 days in Egypt, and so I'm working on a video for that diligently every day when I'm not down at the camera club trying to screw up the multimedia SIG or screw up Showtime or speaker series or something else.
Yeah. Okay, we'll look forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Gene, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Nope, we're all set. I'm going to take you off of YouTube now and we're good to go.
I think we're done, and everybody has a great Christmas time.
You too, Paul. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Merry Christmas all.